Welcome to another edition of the Unbalanced Pedestal podcast. My name is Tina Marie, and I have the beautiful Marquita and I on with me. And this is someone that I have been in the same space for the last year. And we are both life coaches. We both have podcasts, and we are both motivational and inspirational speakers. And I
Yeah.
want to say thank you so much, Marquita, for coming on here and blessing you with our presence, your knowledge, and just everything that you have to share, offer, just to help us, be right, do right in 2022. And so I just want to just give you the floor, have you introduce yourself, and what things that you have going on for yourself. And before we get into the topic, which is, what is our passion, what is driving us to do the things that you and I both are doing.
Okay. Well, thank you once again, Tina Marie, for having me on the Unbalanced Pedestal podcast. It's such a pleasure to be here. And so, once again, I am Marquita and I'm a life coach, also podcast host and speaker. And so, I'm just ready. I'm geared up. I'm excited. And yes, it's go time. It's a new year, new you. But hey, you get that chance daily, to just start something new, to do something new, and just continue to your newness, and be great out there. I like to say, be great and know that that life that you want, you're able to create it. So let's go and let's just tap into this.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so I'll go first as far as set the stage a little bit as far as what my passion, like what is driving me to do all of this, the podcasting, the life coaching, and just like motivating people. And it most likely it stemmed from the time I was born, but we're not gonna go back that far. But I
Way
was
back.
exactly.
What time we gonna go back? Way
Yeah, back at the time when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
back.
But for me, my journey started literally 6 years ago of just going through a lot of with my previous employer, a lot of just heartache, disappointment, depression, anxiety, stress. And at that time, I didn't know it. But at that time, I was coaching people that it wasn't officially coaching, but it was like more of giving, life advice of, what would Tina do in a situation, or how do I talk to the boss? And, all of these things, like how do I stand up for myself? Because I was doing it, but I did not, have like I would say a blueprint. I just did it because based on my environment, who I was interacting with, and I just that's what I was doing, right? And so at the end of my employment with that company, that's where a lot of things came into perspective because I saw the true color, the true nature of people. And what I mean by that is because I was the only African American person in that company, so I was the minority. And once like everyone started to gang up on me, so it was like a toxic workplace, like workplace bullying. And so that led me to, have more stress, more anxiety, and lead me to go into depression. And so after I left that company, because I was like, I'm not doing this. After working 4 years and having a battling out with the owner of the company, like literally toe to toe, cursing, arguing to the owner of the
Wow.
company. It's over a 4 year period, just like standing your ground and
And let me say this, y'all, not to cut Tina off, but Tina about what? 4'5", 4'8"?
no, okay,
I'm
that's
just
not that
thinking,
short. I'm 5'1".
look, 5'1" and 5'2", I was gonna say that. Imagine.
Exactly. And he's like what, 5'11" or whatever.
Wow.
But it's just, just like the conversations from the time, and just like to like not go too much of the topic, but the first time I started working there, the first 3 months, I was petrified of talking to the owner of the company because everyone was so scared when he called on the phone, because he lived on the West Coast. And so like when it was time for me, like he asked for me, it's like, oh my God, what do I do? And it's like your heart is literally doing one of these. And I think it was like another conversation we had where he was just like talking down to me. This is like within the first 3 months. And something clicked in my head. And I went outside and I called him back and I was like, I do not appreciate you speaking to me like a 5-year-old. I mean, I could have got fired that day, but I didn't really care. But it was just like, and that was like the start of that relationship. And I'll say relationship meaning because we all have relationships with people, right? Whether it's love, business, partnerships, friendships, with our kids, it's all a relationship, right? So that was the start of that relationship, of that, the foundation. And, fast forward, all of that didn't mean anything, honestly, right? Arguing and things of that nature. So after I left the company, I said, I can't do it no more. And so it took me about 4 months to like really find myself, piece myself back together, because it was, it was very depressing. My kids were witnessing, what I was going through. And then that was also the time I started opening it up to them about what is going on, what to look out for, how people actually treat you in the world. So that's where I'll say the youth mentorship coaching came along, where I'm actually telling younger generations what the world is like. Don't be naive, don't be too trusting. And so, fast forward today, it's the same thing, communicating with, the younger generation, people that are my age and even older, because your experience, no matter how old or young you are, can help someone. And I've been
Yeah,
doing that, not even with the last 6 years, but I've been doing that all my life. And, just setting
yeah,
that example and like that little piece of experience that you have, no matter how embarrassing, I realize no matter how embarrassing it is for, it's like someone like me, is someone else's answer.
so true,
And
so
I was
true.
like, that's the reason why I started this podcast, because I know that the things that happen time and time again, it's always being repeated. If not within my life, it's going to be repeated in someone else's life or someone else that you don't even know. That the
Hmm.
conversation will, go from one person to the next person and somehow will get to them. And it's like, this is the answer I've been looking for. Where did you find it? Oh, I got it from him. I got it from her. And I'm not speaking to myself directly because, we all are inspired by so many people, and we all have a twist in the way we say things or do things, but our way of sharing that information, it's, in our own way where someone can grasp it and they can take it and just like move on and make themselves better in life. That gives me so much joy. That is my passion. And this is something I shared with my sister last year, that I wanted to be a motivational speaker on stage, just like Lisa Nichols. I have her book
Yeah.
here. No matter what, like she was like my first personal development. Um, I would say not coach, but she's not a coach, but reading her book and her stories and how she was so vulnerable, of what she was going on in her life, that just inspired me to do, that was like the catalyst for me to just do what I'm doing right now.
Yes, I love Lisa Nichols. Also, like she's like, oh wow. When I first heard her story, I was like, wow, that's me. Like no one understood what she was doing, or what is this thing she's talking about. She can go out here and do and change other, transform lives. And I was like, people don't get it. Like this is a purpose. This is a passion, and it's where I can make a difference in someone's lives, and also, continue to have this impact. And it just goes beyond, profit, but that comes with it because, her family can understand how was she gonna pay her bills doing this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then speaking of Lisa, like, with her and her son, when she made that commitment to him, I think his name is
Mhm.
Lonnie, and I do apologize, Lisa,
Yes,
if you're watching this. If you
yes,
ever come
girl.
across this,
Hey, Lisa.
I know, hey girl, we're gonna be at the same stage as you.
Yeah, we'll be
um,
your backup singers, speakers.
I would say I could lip sing. Singing for me, it's a no.
Because I wonder, not to cut you off, but I was wondering, like, I have a voice to help others because I love gospel music. But I'm like, singing ain't it though. I'm not gonna do it another way. So speaking is where I found that gift.
Yes, definitely. I am there with you. Using your voice in so many ways and doesn't necessarily have to be singing, right?
Right.
That's like something that I thought I would never be using, um, 6 years ago, because I always that person is like, watch me quiet and just watch and be quiet and analyze and say what I need to say, when I needed to. And it's totally different, when you're in this space and your mindset has changed. Like, because we're in the same community, with David Shands, the morning meetup. Shout out to
Shout
David.
out.
I'm an
Shout out to
entrepreneur.
the morning meetup. Y'all
Exactly.
need to join. 2022 is life changing. I've been in there well, I can't say all 2021, but majority of 2020. I was in there more than I wasn't. 5 days a week, all 2021. And I mean, it is life changing. So tap into the morning meetup, social proof podcast, David Shands. You will not regret it at all.
You will not. No, definitely not. He is the GOAT of podcasting, the goal of bringing, African American communities together, like people together, entrepreneurs,
Yes.
um, everything you can think about. And it's just amazing, motivational speakers. You have people who are in real estate, credit repair, lawyers, IT specialists,
And
every
people, who, not to cut you, but just don't even know what type of entrepreneur venture they want to, get in, but still working a 9 to 5, but coming in there just have something to get them that boost, to get them started and gain information and resources to start pursuing their entrepreneurship ventures.
exactly. I couldn't have said more beautifully than that.
Yes, you could, but thank you.
First of all, can we just like stop and acknowledge Marquita's outfit, her
All right.
hat, the hair? She's rocking the locks. Like, can we like give her an applause?
Girl. Now, can we stop and acknowledge the beautiful Tina? Like, we can't just acknowledge me and not acknowledge my sister here. Like, yes.
The lock sisters,
All of that knowledge behind her, like, we have to just acknowledge that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're
Um,
welcome.
but we hung out before, in person a few times. You put me on to, the slutty vegan.
Yes. Shout out to oh, Bloody Vegan, ATL.
Yes, ATL, NYC, and she's in like other places as well. Like
Yeah, she
and she was also on the Social Proof podcast. So y'all guys gotta tap into that episode. I'll definitely put that link in the description for you to go watch that, because she is an entrepreneur who just sticks by her values, and her employees are the bomb.
yes.
Or the
And
way. Go ahead.
no, you go. You go.
Oh, I'll say like the way she operates her business is in that one day, I forgot what location we went to in Atlanta,
Edgewood.
Edgewood. And I just happened to be like the first, early, like 20 minutes early. And the doors open at 12 o'clock. Turn around, the line is all the way down the block. That's how customer service, that's how good her food is. And I love supporting our people, because this is what we need to do. We need to uplift each other and support in many ways, because if no one else is going to do it, then
Not us. Why not us?
yeah,
Like, we here with each other.
yeah,
Like, no, competition, but collaborations.
yes, exactly.
Yes.
So So I spoke about, what's, my motivation, my passion, why I'm doing this. So what inspired you to become a life coach, to become a podcast host, and many more things I know you have in your toolbox that you're not ready to that you have in the works there. But what have led you to this point?
Well, for me, like Tina, I mean, I guess James Brown, I'm gonna take you way back. No, I ain't gonna take you way back. But in short, my journey of life coaching just come from, as mentioned, experience and going through things at a young age, and going through those experiences sometimes maybe alone and by default, um maybe others who didn't know much that could have provided, much for me to, something other than what I knew and what they knew. So just tapping into things and, to heal from the loss of my mom. Well, first my sister at a young age, she had passed. I was just turning 16, I would say. And then shortly after, my sister passed in 99, my mom in 06. So just going through those two traumatic losses like that, and then during the time my mom was battling cancer, I was actually going through domestic violence, with my kid's father at the time. And so it was just like, what is it that I can do to get myself from this place, into another place in my life? Because this ain't it. This ain't working. It's got to be something else that I can do to, be able to cope with this loss is better, with the, mourning that I'm feeling, because of the loss. Is like, though I had lost them, back, I was still dealing with that mourning. I was still just battling certain things. And at one point I found myself, mad at God because of what I went through, and losing them at a young age. And, as a young girl, that was unexpected. I was thinking that I was gonna have a mom since she was old, my sister we was gonna grow older together, so just changing that, what I thought was the picture of life, from a young girl to still being young at that time, and just having to really do a search, within, and just seek and search outside, what I knew. So I read the book A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, which really just gave me a different perspective on, the ego and life and things of that nature. And that just started my journey there as well. I'm watching Oprah. I gotta give a shout out to Oprah. If y'all know me, Oprah my girl, like, and because she really was a big shift in me finding the new earth to read it. And so, but she said one time on her show, you have to let go of thinking the past could have been any different than what it was. And so when I got that, I was able to let go of that burden of losing my mom and losing my sister and going through that domestic violence, relationship, and just start now in the new earth. Is about now, being present in the now, and so just gaining those things, and then continue to read and just, go through just finding myself in I hate to be stuttering, but I'm at a gas pump and I know there's a car behind me. I'm so apologize, but I'm gonna move the car. Y'all, it's been a morning. It's been raining out here, and I just hate to keep sitting here in that car and sitting behind me like that. I'm like, really? So I got to move the car, y'all. I apologize.
Worries. Look, the podcast is on the road, so you're taking us on the road.
Yes. So I'm gonna move and park right here. So that's why I got this little filter, and it threw me off for a second because I looked like, oh, the car right there, and I ain't pumping no gas. He's probably been waiting for the longest. I apologize, y'all.
No apology.
But yes, just going through that, and I just started getting into just reading more books, and I would, from me reading and just gaining resources and knowledge through reading, to heal and cope, and not seeing a therapist, myself, and just other things that would come up in life. People would just ask me stuff about things, and I would get them advice, and then it was like, oh, you Dr. Phil, or you pastor, and I would just continue to get, that title or those different titles upon me. And I was like, well, maybe I need to do something with this thing someday. And so I did call myself going, for psychology. I was like, okay, I can see. And so I end up getting an associate's in that. And so I just love, being able to get advice and help others. So then I found myself just like, okay, I'm gonna do this life coaching thing. I'm gonna go ahead and do something and really just go forward in my purpose. And so when I started to do that, and y'all heard something, that was my stomach because I hadn't ate. I had podcasts all morning. It's just been a day, but hold on. So
You're doing fabulous.
And so 2020, I said, okay, I'm a was it 2020? So I said, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this life coaching and just really walk fully in my purpose. And then guess what? As Myron Golden, I don't know if you all know him. The minute you decide to do something is when disaster happens, when something happens. So then I had a hospital awareness, I would like to say, and I'm just like, really? So that really just made me wake up to like how short life can be and how we really just need to walk fully in what it is we're here for, and don't waste no time in doing it. Don't be doubtful. Don't be scared to do it. Just do what it is you are here to do, no matter what. And so I'm here now, walking fully in my purpose. I'm a life coach. I host the Pink Link podcast and a speaker. And so that came from just things that I went through and experienced, and, just want to be able to get it to others to stay uplifted and motivated and inspired and be able to transform the lives of others. So that's why I'm here.
And this is why you could continue to be here, right? Until.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay. I'm sorry about these technical difficulties, but I was not going to cancel because, hey, it's purpose showing up.
No worries. No worries. You're all good. It's all, like I said, it's all natural. There is like no, what you call it? There's no like template. It's just, however, my guests, they do it at work. So
I'm like, oh Lord. But the point is, you have to still show up even when things are happening sometimes. Like one day I think I wasn't feeling so well. I'm like, no, even if I don't feel like it, that doesn't mean I make the excuse. I still show up. Now, if you just can't show up, but if you're able to still, move around and got some sense and stuff going, you show up.
Exactly. And that's a big component that we talk about in, we know with ourselves as coaches, but also in the morning meetup, the consistency to show up, even when you don't feel like it. Everyone has bad days. Like celebrities have bad days. They're, I guess, within the last few years, some more than others have been coming out more and saying, I do have bad days. Just because you see me on the red carpet smiling doesn't mean everything in my life is all peachy. And, yes, I could be on stage performing, but I still have those days. There's still days that I may not feel confident. I just put on my makeup, or my dress on, and you just go out there and you just show the world and keep it moving, right?
Yes.
Moving. And then like one of the things that I picked up was it's Mel
Robbins.
Yeah, I would say Gibbons. Forget Mel.
Mel. But Robin Givens, Mel Robbins.
Yeah, exactly. Not the actor, but I love watching her. When she speaks, because she's also inspirational as well, and she is so raw. And I love like her 5-minute talk in the morning where, you stand, after you brushing your teeth, and
I'm proud of you.
And yeah, you just like giving yourself the pep talk and the confidence, and that's what helps. And people don't know that once you start doing that every single day, no matter who is talking down to you, you may be in a bad relationship. I've been through some, that I'm going to share, on my podcast on future episodes, because my podcast really talks about every experience that we have gone through. And, I want to share my experiences again to help other people, because again, my pain, my low points I know help just as I'm sharing with you and people who are watching and listening, I'm sharing it with my children. I'm sharing with my nephews and nieces. They're in their late 20s, early 30s. So, with that information, because I see that, although they grew up with uh, what you call it, a two-parent household, they still need additional perspective on life. Because I had this 2-hour conversation with my friend yesterday on the phone because we were catching up, and I told her that there's this quote that was told to me when I was in elementary school. So this is like the 80s. It takes a village to raise a child, and I never understood what that meant. I never understood. I'm like, what does that even mean? I'm like, no, it's just it's just your parents, right? And it's like, I get it, because it's not just within the household, but the community that's surrounding that child.
Yes, so true.
That is so true.
Because the parents can only teach them so much. Like, it's so much to be learned and gained in this world. And I want to say, you said you just want to be able to help others from what you experience. As Maya Angelou said, the great Maya Angelou, when you learn, teach, when you give. And that's my, motto too. Like, I've learned so much through what I've experienced. It's only right for me to teach that to others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love Maya Angelou.
Angelou. I might have said that wrong. Maya Angelou.
You stick with Maya.
Right. Look, let me stick with Maya. Because I don't want to be saying the name wrong. Is it Angelo or Angelou?
I think it's Angelou.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. But yeah, it's just so vital, especially where we're at in today's society. There's a shift, from what we grew up with, right? And for us, we are also, making that change within ourselves to pivot, and also making sure both you and I, we have children, right? And so making sure they're, again, equipped and better prepared, because the same things, I would say, history repeats itself, right? I mean, that's what they always say. So if we give them our history, give them as much of our history, that will help. That will give them they'll have the tools so they can make informed decisions.
Yes.
Because the people that we have met, that we've been through in relationships, whether it's again, relationships are very broad, not just in love relationships, but the same personalities may show up in other people that they will meet when they go to school, when they have their job, if they decide to be entrepreneurs, if they decide to work a 9 to 5, whatever it is that they plan to do, they like, wait a minute, my mom told me about this person, or they have these same characteristics. I remember my mom was on stage and she was like the same thing, and here it goes right here.
Yes, make them more aware and conscious, of how they choose their relationship and friendships. And I was just telling my daughter that, like, you need to be conscious of, who you are allowing in your life. If you're setting goals and getting to this next level, you can't just let anybody in. As my bishop, I go to Bishop Runner. He said, either people come into your life to help you and help elevate you towards your purpose, or come to distract you towards your destiny. And that's real. So you got to be mindful of relationships, whether it's a man, a friend, or husband or wife or whomever.
And then also to add on to that, because what you just touched on, the environment. The environment for me, my environment that I was previously in. So I was in a 10-year relationship, and I was engaged for 3 of those years. I walked away from that because I realized that environment, that relationship, all of that was detrimental. But because I was in it for so long, I couldn't see, like when my sister got sick last year, and I pulled myself away from that environment in order to focus on her. So once I was outside looking in, I was just like, Oh, hell no. We're not doing this no more.
Yes, yes.
And everything that I was struggling with for, when I was in there, I wanted to better myself, when anything that was going good for me, all the positive things, I never received any praise. And I have to say validation, but it was like, oh, that's so great. There was none of that. It was like, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like
Yes.
that you're bettering yourself. So that's like another thing that I can say I was never taught ever, to watch out for those people who do not, like you said, what your bishop said, people who come into your life, they want to distract you. And that's what it was. You got this. Oh, but yeah, here, take this, and this could be any figuratively. It could be, alcohol. It could be, oh, let's go on a trip here, oh, let's do this and that. And like, no, but I want to better myself. I want to go down this path. Like, no, this, like take the red pill, the blue pill,
Right. They either lift you towards your purpose or distract you from the destiny. So if you investing in you to build your business, but then they talking about a trip that's distracting you from your destiny.
Exactly. It's like, let's go party and all these things. And it's like, and along with that, I cut down on my drinking last year to where now I'm just like, I don't even, have a need to drink,
Right.
And I was a person who never was like, I'll always drink forever. And I never thought about that point, but yeah, like all of those things that distract us, and to say, it's a distraction. Some people may say otherwise, that's their thing. But for me, I feel that I have more clarity. I feel, one of myself. I see things differently, and I think differently, and I feel differently, especially within myself. And one thing I want to commend about you, which I don't know if anyone knows this, but Marquita is a vegan. Like, I am aspiring to be in your.
And I got plants in the background.
Exactly. She's in the garden.
With the hat on, girl. Look at
For
me.
the sun and everything. Exactly.
Well, yes, y'all. And that's been quite a wonderful, amazing journey. And if you haven't just stepped outside the box, try for a week, a day, or 30 days, the new year coming up, and just see a difference in your body. I'm not the one to say, oh, don't eat meat. I'm not that type of vegan, but I mean, it's so many health benefits. And, and part of my going vegan was because of my health. I like to say health awareness last year. And so it was just a way for me to, do what was good to and for me, for my body and my health and my mind and things, and to heal and just go, be proactive about things and get things that would nourish me and build me up, instead of something outside of me. Or, I don't knock other things. I can't say this on her podcast, but just a more holistic approach to better health, well-being, and vitality per se.
Yes. And that's the name of your brand, right? Good to and for me.
Yes, that's it's up under the umbrella of the, everything else. But yes, good to and for me is just basically, part of my brand as well, because before I can do anything for anybody else, I got to do what's good to and for me. And that just goes to say for you to do what's good to and for you in your aspect of the me.
Yes. And I love that. And I love that you're always promoting, health and awareness in your own way, and the way you do it, and then just everything, like your skin is glowing, like everything.
Thank you, girl. Got my water.
Exactly, water. Like for me, like right now I'm doing like the fruit infusion. So that's what to get my my vitamins out of the fruit. Sometimes, yeah. But water is, it is the fountain of youth.
Yes.
That was I'm in New York, so you'll
hear.
I
heard something, but I really didn't hear something. Yeah. I heard something and I didn't hear something. It was so quick.
I always do a disclaimer. I'm like, well, I'm in New York and you might hear sirens, ambulances, uh, fire trucks, something outside because it's New York.
No, I was out there every 5 minutes. I'm like, Lord Jesus. We really are in New York. We're in the Big Apple.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, and
And that was a pleasure to meet Tina, you know, face to face when I went out there to New York, because she came out here the other weekend, but we had some great pizza. It was what was the name of that pizza spot we went to? Vegan pizza.
Oh gosh.
Gosh, how did I forget the name of it? I only went one time.
Why? Because it was a mixed experience. That's why.
Huh?
It was a mixed experience.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why it's not like really memorable. But it was off of oh gosh, Manhattan Avenue, off of the G line.
Screamers Pizza. I knew it would come to me. This look, I got this big hand for nothing. As they say. But it was Screamers Pizza, and it's vegan pizza, but it is good. You know, if you're in the New York area, like, try them out and tell them the Pink Link podcast shouted them out, so they can shout out the Pink Link.
Exactly.
And I also have a video on there about that experience when I went to New York.
Oh, I'll definitely put that in the description box. Definitely.
Yes.
And that's why I got to meet your lovely daughters. And
yeah.
And that same week, what was it? That's where you went to the city, right? You went to Experience Times Square.
Yes, we was right around from Times Square. Like I think we went to Times Square about 3 times, girl, because it was a dream to get there at least one time, and I was right around the corner, so we went about 3 times around there, 3 or 4, because we was walking distance. Yes.
Yeah.
So that was a dream trip. That was on my since we're talking New Year and that was a manifested trip. I want to say manifestations and manifested at the same time. But I put that on my goal chart. That was probably like a couple of years ago. And we actually went there. So, I mean, manifestation and dreaming big and just writing your goals down. It's a new year. Hey, get that piece of paper, get that board, go buy you a poster board from Walmart, get you a magazine, cut out and put things on there that you want to do. I manifested Tina in my life. She don't know this. I shared it with some more people, but my manifestation from last year was on there. I think it was like number 4. Just meet some new people that's in business, building entrepreneur friendships and relationships with other business, minded people, and growing them into friendships. And I actually manifested Miss Tina Marie here. Yes. So she's part of that manifestation because I joined the morning meetup, which is a host of other entrepreneurs doing business things. So yes.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know that.
Right.
It's interesting that you said that, because like every morning since last year, I've been doing a lot of manifestation. I do my gratitude. And one thing is like, yes, you give gratitude to the things you have, right? Your health. But the other thing too is to bring in healthy relationships. Because one thing that a lot of people do, yes, we all hurt, we all grieve. But at the same time, I also get gratitude, going back to that boss I was talking about earlier. And before everything went down, I gave him a gift, which was like air plants. And, they were like 2 little cute little air plants, right? And they have like this, they're beautiful. And I wrote him a note, and I basically said, I forgive you. I thank you for being you, for who you exactly are, because by you being yourself helped me to realize who I am. So all of that bickering and fighting and arguing showed me how my true strength is and how I did not waver and what I believed in, what my true values are. So yes, relationships can go sideways, but what are you going to take from that relationship? How can you take those bits and pieces to see, okay, this is making me stronger. What do I need to change about myself? How can I better myself and also help someone else?
Yes.
And that's how I look at every relationship experience. And then, going back to fast forwarding to last year, it's, taking, that manifestation and the gratitude and saying, thank you for the healing process, but also thank you for bringing in those new relationships, and to build something. And, and once you keep saying that every single day, giving that gratitude, and people are going to come into your life that you don't know how they're going to come into your life. There's things that happen in my life that I'm like, I'm surprised that I'm still alive. Like type of things. It's like, yeah, it's just like, unexplained. I think it is a miracle, but it's like beyond miracles. It's just like, it's just like, being young and you just like being careless and reckless. And I want to say that meaning like not like walk on the side of the bridge, like you're nothing like that. Nothing like life threatening. But it's just like, you like my mom would say, getting religious here, but she always say that, we're washing the blood of Jesus, sorry. Sorry, one second. I have to. Okay. Okay, there you go. I'm using my camera, my phone as the camera. And so like I have these timers that go off during the day. And so I had to go around.
Oh.
Technical. See, that's my first.
Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you.
Okay, because I got the car cranked up for some heat, girl. It's gonna look cool out here.
It is?
It's 64, but that's just me wanting to get warm. I like to be warm and pleasant.
Not bad. Over here it's 41 degrees. So I mean it's pretty nice outside. You're like, what?
41.
You're like, oh, that's winter for me.
That's cold.
I used to live in Florida, so I know. I lived in Florida for 8 years.
So are you originally from Florida or New York?
New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I lived in Florida for 8 years. But like the first, I think like the first, like, I'll say, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I was just like, it was okay because it's like, okay, it's not that bad because, you come from New York where it's like, it goes like 32 degrees and well, back in the day, now I know what's going to happen. But back in the day, it used to go to like, 12 degrees, and then when Florida gets to, was it 40 at night, and like, oh, this is great. And then after being in Florida for a while, you like, it is cold outside. Like I need to put on, I need to
That's
put on a
how
coat.
my ex was from Chicago. It'd be 40 something 30. I'm like, but you from Chicago? You should be used to it. But like, that don't mean I'm used to no cold.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'll definitely take a Florida winter, Georgia winter any day because it's not the same.
It's not. I mean, it feel like it's, I don't know, like fall still. It doesn't even feel like it's winter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So thinking back about your, back to the teenage years, if what would you say to your 16-year-old self? Like what 3 things you would give your 16-year-old self?
I would say be more confident, believe in yourself more, and have more faith. That's what I would tell myself.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm glad you asked that question because that's what I needed at that time. Those things.
Yeah. And then you want to say something?
Huh?
Oh, you want to say something?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. And then it's 2022. So what do you have anything that's coming out that you want to share? with our audience, things that you're doing, where they can find you on social media, how they can reach out to you, things of that nature.
Yes. Well, your girl is on a path for 1,000 subbies on the Pink Link podcast, and you can catch me on YouTube where I'm aiming for those 1,000 subbies. And like, comment, share, and let me know that you saw me on the Unbalanced Pedestal podcast. So we can like say hey to you. And so I know that will be dropped here. Also, just follow me at Marquita Beyond. I post like conspirations and different things, and hence I'm in the car now. You know what I'm saying? Like conspiration girl out here in these streets. And so so tap into that because there's some more great things that I will be coming out with. And if you're looking for an inspirational, motivational, transformational speaker here, you can book me by just emailing me at info.goodtoandforme.com. And I would love to just talk that over with you. And so there goes. That's everything pretty much.
That's
and I thank you once again, Tina, for sharing, me with your audience today.
You're most definitely welcome. And I thank you for taking the time out your busy schedule because you're a hot commodity. Everyone's booking you on your podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I claim that. And also, like, if you have a story that you want to share and just to tap that in and your expertise in your field, my podcast, The Pink Link, it focuses on having powerful, innovative, next level conversations with AK, and bringing guests on to share things that they've overcome and ways that they can share and inform and be able to uplift and inspire others to do the same thing in their lives.
Yes, definitely check out Marquita at The Pink Link. I'll make sure I have all the information in the description box for you to tap in, connect with her, book her. 2022 is going to be lit. She's going to be doing great things. Make sure you follow, like, comment, subscribe, donate.
Yes. Oh, that cash app is Marquita Beyond if you want to donate to the movie. If you want to support the podcast, because your girl got studio goals someday,
Exactly.
Yes, I ain't gonna not say no to a cash app.
Definitely. Are there any like closing words you want to leave our audience before we go?
Well, I just want to say this to you all, make sure that you are believing in yourself. And like I said, we're here on borrowed time. Like, life is short, it comes in a snap. And as my daughter said, we're here, we're not here for a long time, we're here for a good time. And also we're here to make sure that we're working in our purpose during that time, not just out here just doing everything, fun, but also making an impact on the lives of others. And so with that, I want to say as I open, I like to say in closing, blessings on blessings to you. And I want you to go out there and be great because the life you want, you create.
I love that. What your daughter said.
Right. A trip.
It is. My name is Tina Marie, and I am the host of the Unbalanced Pedestal podcast. And I want to thank you for everyone for tapping in, watching, listening to, myself as well as our guest, Marquita Beyond. And make sure you tap into her. Everything will be listed in the description box with everything that we talked about. So, like, comment, subscribe, share this podcast out. Also tap in again to Marquita, and I look forward to seeing you guys, hearing you guys, with your comments. And so we're about to close this out. And Marquita, thank you so much again for coming on here. And I look forward to, if you're open to it, doing something else, another episode in the future.
Yes, and you're so welcome. And y'all support my girl at Tina Marie. Like, comment, share, subscribe, run it up for her. Like, it's go time. Like, support the sister. She's out here doing great things herself. And I'm just so proud of her. I got to say that right fast. And like, just support her. Like, she's deserving. She's so deserving. Oh, yes.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
And yeah, so I'll see you around and we'll definitely link up soon.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Okay. All right. Talk to you. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.